Okay, I know I can get a little windy, people, on my postings. But really, do we all have to discuss the shortening of the videos? I agree. And especially when you have to catch up. And I'll try and keep them shorter, but I just have so much to say and respond to and comment on. Like, I'm wearing my green pop shirt tonight, if anybody can see it. Can you see it's my green squirt shirt? And on the back of it, it says, put a little squirt in your life. But unlike Nick, I've chosen a white background so that I don't get the blue avatar face all over the place. Um, Briefly, I want to discuss the flirting. First of all, Aaron, you are a very handsome man. So don't you be putting yourself down when you're around your other friends. I'm sure that they cannot hold a candle to you. And the other bitches are just hoes, wanting to get fucked, and they can see your purity and that they aren't going to get anywhere with you. So I think that's a compliment that they do not go flirt with you. Angie, I'd have to agree. I myself usually do not find myself being the flirty, torty one. And I think it's funny you mentioned 25-year-olds because that's kind of my thing. It's 25-year-olds. And like my new catchphrase is, I keep getting older, but they all stay the same age. I'll stick with them for a little while, but like when they turn 27, I'm like, you got to go. And I've recently started experimenting with people my own age. Of course, the prerequisites are no kids, not married, obviously. Shit like that. Yeah, I don't know how that's going. It's not, whatever. I've got my notes. Oh, flirting, guy flirting today. A weird thing happened. I rarely take personal calls at work, and when I do, I go outside the building to do them. Okay, there's that story. So I was sitting actually on the curb outside, and Virgil, the ex-stripper, and by the way, men do not smell like baby powder. Men strippers don't smell like baby powder. Virgil, the ex-stripper, who is now our retired UPS delivery man, approached me in UPS Brown today. And for years he's been asking me to go on a ride with him on his Harley Davidson. And he was wearing a Harley Davidson leather vest. And he comes walking up my business sidewalk. As I'm on the phone on a personal call to, I don't want to get into the house stories, for the Meadows, and I know Aaron likes me just saying the name, but not, I'm sure, about complaining about the shit anymore. Was the contractor was telling me insurance wasn't going to pay for the dining room that's already been ripped up. So, see, I knew there's problems. I knew there would be problems. But they're going to pay for it. Yeah, that'll be fine. So anyhow, he approaches me, and, he's standing there looking all hopeful in his Harley Davidson vest. He was like, I brought my bike for you. And I looked at him, I go, I'm on the phone. And he goes, oh, is it a personal call? I go, yes, it's a very personal call. And I just stared at him. And he kept walking towards me and talking to me. I go, hey, listen, I just told you I was on the phone. And then I felt bad. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. So here he had brought his motorcycle to finally show me after all of these years, and I was just kind of a bitch to him. So I kind of felt bad about that, but, not really. He's an ex-stripper, retired UPS guy. I would like to wear his UPS uniform for Halloween. I think that would be funny, but that's about it. So, yeah, there's too much to catch up on right now. I'm going to, again, try to keep it short. Commutes, Nick, I think you have a pretty good idea of what mine is. I'll post sometime in the car. Of course, the title thing, I went back and looked at all of our hits, and Nick is, of course, winning now. He's winning because you know, people apparently like iPhones more than puss. It's fucking weird. Um, Angie, job searching sucks. And I realize more and more as I go through my, professional life that I can never get laid off or get fired. Ever. Because I am so unprofessional and I have no skills or attention span and I'm not very friendly or personable and I don't like meeting new people. One, I did something today which, people say is an HR nightmare, but I don't think so. So, one of the guys, he's actually the manager of the loaner department of the warehouse for my medical profession, and we've been friends for years. In fact, I got him his job 12 years ago. He is having a consult tomorrow, and this is what I want to discuss on the channel, to get a vasectomy. He just turned 37, which, I mean, isn't that much older than me, or any of us, really. And he's going in to get a vasectomy. Now, granted, he does have 3 children, twins who are like 7, and then a son who is like, was born before they got married, so like 12, probably. I keep telling him to have the talk about masturbation with his son, though. I think that's funny. Not appropriate at work either, though. So he's going in for this consult tomorrow. And so I was back, I'm kind of like the manager of the front, and he's the manager of the back. And so he and I constantly argue about shit. And so in the midst of our argument, I go, listen up, I'll save you the time for that consult. I'm going to cut your dick off today. Not appropriate in a workplace, but everybody laughed. So that's why I said I have the perfect work environment so I can tell someone I'm going to cut their dick off. And people will laugh about it, even though he's going in for a vasectomy. And again, Nick and Aaron discuss vasectomies. LBP, if you're even alive. And Angie, of course, because I thought, like, vasectomies are confuse and scare me. I know this is going to keep getting longer and longer, but yeah, Angie, in regards to your job and your interview today, working with the double Ds, or the, developmentally disabled, excuse me. It is a very rewarding profession. I did some work with the mentally challenged when I was back in the big town of Superior. Aaron will recall probably, T-Cat. He probably remembers, I believe his name was Larry, and his cans. He was pretty self-sufficient, but Nick will remember like a couple times I had to go over to the homes and do in-home care with the adults, DDs. And one year, I think it was Thanksgiving because there was a parade of some sort going on, and it was a house with 3 disabled men, and we were watching the parade, and one of them started masturbating to the parade. That was really awkward, and I didn't have any training as to what to do. They're like, hey, look, we'll just have this chick come over during the holidays, which I wanted extra money. I was in college, blah, blah, blah. That was just weird. I didn't know what to do with that. I just let him finish up and went and made some ham.